right, YouTube. This is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Saturday morning, August 29th at about 11:15 a.m. We are recording a one-shot intro of Symbaroum with these fine gentlemen that you see on the screen. Ignore my ugly mug. As always, like and subscribe. Help grow the channel. And everything else is on there. My drive-through RPG, all the notes will be down in the doobly-doo. So starting with Mr. Andrew Staples, give us an intro, sir. Go.
I am a gamer. I've been playing for 40 years, about. It's my first time playing Symbaroum. I will be playing Fenya the Goblin.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to get my Goblin voice on. I'm a designer of chivalry and sorcery. This apparently is a lot simpler system than that. I did find I've actually got a copy of the rules in PDF, but previously unread. So I'm looking forward to this.
Excellent. And then Mr. Balthazar. Did I say that right?
Yeah. It just says you on my screen.
You, John. Mr. Mean.
Omar Ismail. I'll be playing Mantalon, the Wizard of Auto Magica, and I'm the chairman of the golf role-playing community.
Excellent.
I'm playing for 15 years. I've made my own homebrew system, but so has everybody else, and I haven't published it.
Yeah. All right, then we have Mohammed Al Khan.
Hey guys, yeah. I've been playing since college. Was introduced to third edition there. It's been 20 years now since I've been playing, and I'm going to be playing the Barbarian Varek, who's sullen, dark, and not a very nice guy overall.
Fits in with Mr. Mean. And then Nasser, what's going on?
Yeah, I am Nasser Khalid. I am a member of the GRC, been playing role-playing games for 20 years, and co-founder of Tabletop House Bahrain.
Sweet. And just for a little background, Nasser is on. It follows me on YouTube, and he's on my Discord. He's quite prolific in posting, and I enjoy chatting with him. And much kudos to you, sir. Thank you very much for putting this all together. You are super awesome and cool, and Mr. Mean will not be so mean to you. The rest of you guys are screwed, but he gets a pass. All right, so we're going to jump right into it.
Sorry, Mr. Mean.
What?
We're all actually based in the Arabian Gulf here. So
Right.
Three of us in Dubai and Nasser is in Bahrain.
That's okay. I can travel. Meanness is everywhere, baby. Meanness is everywhere. But thank you guys so much. This is super cool, and it's really exciting for me. So we're going to jump right in. What I'm going to do first is take my handy-dandy notepad because I'm big and dumb. And so, Andrew, you're playing the Gobbo?
Yeah, Fenya the Goblin.
All right.
With Berula, the wild sow is my familiar.
Goblin. All righty. And then Balthazar, who are you playing? What's the name?
Playing that Bartolom.
Oh, Bartolom, right?
Yeah.
You're the main star of the show, by the way.
Oh no.
Yeah, lucky you. And then Mohammed, what do you got?
I'm playing Varek, human barbarian sorcerer.
And then Nasser?
I'm playing Conard, a human barbarian.
What is it?
Conard, with a K. K-O-N.
Right. That's one of the newer NPC or pre-mades that they.
I actually made this one.
Oh, that's right. You made it. The name is in the book, though, believe it or not.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm going to refer to you as your character names. So Bartolom, you are on the edge of the Titan Peaks. It is right before the passage that goes into Dovakar. Dovakar is the forest that's a very bad place. Elves in this game are not your flighty, pointy-eared, flowing, beautiful hair. Elves in this game slit your throat, drink your blood, and dance a tune on your grave. Elves do not want the younger races, the humans, the goblins, in the forest. The forest of Symbaroum or Symbar, is ancient. The elves were one of the older races on the planet, and they protect it. And there's an accord that says you guys can travel through to get to the other side of the mountains where the humans have made their new Ambria moving over, the queen, who was captured for several years. All of her knights came together. They rescued her, but she was horribly disfigured, and she wears a mask now. But the Ambrians are loyal to her. They love her, and she has moved her people to, quote unquote, the promised land, because there was a huge war, lots of undead, evil magic and everything. And so that land is blighted now. Crops don't grow. And so all the civilized races have fled, and they're going across the mountains, the Titans. But right now you're at the edge of the Titans, and you have to go through Dovakar Forest, which it's a bad place. There are things in there that, make a grown man cry, as Charlie Daniels used to say, if anybody gets the musical reference. And so, Bartolome, you are part of the Ordo Magica, which is the religious, they're not religious, but they're the College of Magic. They believe that order defeats chaos, and that, magic is a formula and everything is to be studied. And your big thing is, I have to scrutinize this more deeply. I mean, you're the guy that gets distracted walking down the road. There's a green rock in a sea of blue. You want to know why the rock is green, and you'll take 3 days to look at it. That's the kind of character that Bartolome is. So you have in your possession, the rest of the players do not know this, in your possession is the Sunstone. And it is an artifact that you are trying to get across Dovakar to get it to your people so that it can be sequestered away, because it is a powerful artifact. And you don't know everything it does, but you know that you have to protect it. And so the Order thought the best way to transport it was to put you in a caravan with people, a bunch of no-names basically, and you would therefore be less likely to be, ambushed or something like that. Whereas if we put a big, huge caravan together with soldiers, that just sticks out like a sore thumb. The rest of you have probably made somewhat of a friendship with Bartolome, because he's a super nice guy. He loves to talk. He's very passionate about everything. And like the goblin, you want to know things about the goblin, Freya, and she's got a little familiar with her, that kind of thing. So, you have found Argusto, who is the caravan master, and he is looking for guards, because right now it's at the tail end. Winter is coming, as the old saying goes, and the pass kind of closes. You won't be able to get through the Titans once winter hits, which means you'll be stuck here with all the zombies and the bad things, and so everybody's trying to get out. So this is one of the last caravans, and Argusto is this very heavy-set, jovial man, very tan skin, got an earring, got the big floppy hat with a feather. His clothes at one time were very expensive, but now they're just old and tired. But he still is dressed very well, and he has that accent that he likes to talk like this, and everything is important because he is an important man, and you should give him importance. So Argusto there's a line, and he's sitting at this makeshift table, and there's a very large man on his left with a scimitar, and then there's a woman on his right with a spear, and they look very capable. And Bartolome, you come up in line with the other three behind you, and he says, "Why should I give you a ride in my caravan? What can you provide for me?"
Well, I think it's very clear that we are people who can handle ourselves.
I have people that can handle themselves. Look at Modoc. Modoc is very strong. He can crush your head with his nipple.
I have a battle pig.
Now that is interesting. You may go. You come with me. Battle pig. Can we have bacon?
No, it's bacon, no battle.
No, okay. I understand. Man, a goblin of principle. I like this. Okay, about
You don't eat it all at once.
and Bartolome, you are a man of the magica.
Dealing with this crap this whole time.
Yeah, and are you just looking surly and grumpy?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That'll fit in well. Modoc looks at you and kind of like he's sizing you up like, I think I could take him. In fact, he feels pretty sure he could. Bartolome, what can you provide to Augusto that he doesn't already have?
Are you in need of a wizard?
Oh, now you're speaking the words of magic. I like this. Can you protect my caravan and my peoples?
I have some spells at my disposal which would work towards that end, yes.
He looks over to the woman, Natalia, and she kind of just gives a very, very slight nod. She looks like she's really mad too. I mean, if you had to be around this guy all day, you'd probably be mad too with that horrible accent. And he says, fine, you may go. So he says, you and the goblin, go. And then he looks at Varric. You look like you can stand up in a fight, yes?
Yeah.
So Modoc walks up to you.
To have something to swing, but you need something to block with too.
So Modoc is a very imposing man. He's 6'5", probably weighing about 350. And he walks up to you and he looks at Augusto, and Augusto just nods, and he swings out to punch you. So what I need you to do is roll a d20. And now, do you have your shield with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so your shield's going to give you a number. What is that number on the shield?
It's an 11.
Okay, so his fight is 10, which means it's a +0, and 11 is a -1 on the chart. So you're going to roll a d20, and you're going to subtract 1 from it, and if it meets your defense, if it's higher or lower than your defense, he has hit you.
Okay.
So I'm looking for lower. You need to roll lower than a 9 to hit you. Above a 10 or 11, 10 or higher, he misses you.
Okay. That is a 6 on the die.
Ooh. Okay, so you try to raise your shield, and he just square punches you right in the chest. I mean, so roll a 1d4.
That's a 4.
All right, so that's 4 points of damage. But now you have armor. What is your armor?
I have crow armor, which is 1d6.
So roll a d6.
That's a 3.
So you subtract 3. You take 1 point of damage. So you take the hit. And you don't even step back. You tried to raise your shield. You weren't fast enough. He punches you in the chest, and you just stand there. And he looks over at Augusto, and he goes, "He will do." Because you took the hit. You took 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
So what's your toughness?
11.
All right. So now your toughness is 10. Damage subtracts from your toughness. Usually half of your tough. What's your wound threshold? 6 or 5?
My pain is 6.
Is 6. So when you get below 6, that's when you're in a world of hurt. You're at a bunch of negatives. Things are bad. When your toughness goes to 0, you're dying. But because you're heroes, you get a death save. Hopefully we won't have to get there. But you took the hit like a champ. And so he agrees. And the goblin's probably like, whoa! You know? And Konag is like, I could have taken that better. You know. So then Argasto looks at you, Karnag, and says, you look like you could take a hit. And all of a sudden,
when he says that, I punch his man.
Yes! Yes! All right. So roll a d20. You're going to roll your accuracy.
All right.
Or accurate.
I rolled a 7 for my accuracy. Sorry, my accuracy is 11, and I rolled a 7.
Okay. So this is a game where rolling low on the player side is good. Rolling high on the bad guy side is good for you because you don't want them to succeed. Rolling low is a success. Rolling high is bad. A natural 1 is a critical success. Natural 20 is a critical failure. So you catch a man. You just clock him. So it's a 1d6 for damage. Or, excuse me, 1d4.
Okay.
Unless you have something that allows you to fist fight. I don't know all of your guys' abilities. This is a game.
For 1 point of damage.
Okay, you clock him right in the jaw, and you see his head. You reach. I mean, as he goes to step forward, right? Because you saw this coming. You're smart, and you just clock him, and he goes deadpan, no look, and then he looks at Augusto, and he goes, "He will do." So you guys are officially part of the caravan. Argasto says, "Great, no more. And everybody behind you, there's a line of like 20 people that are like, oh, but sir, I have gold, I have gold. He's like, gold does me no good. Zombies don't eat gold. They eat people. You want to come on as people? And they're like, oh, no, we don't want part of that. So the caravan is full. We will leave in the hour. Is this good for you? Good. He doesn't even give you a chance to answer. He's one of those guys. He is large and in charge, and it's his way. So Modek and the female, he gets up. They start folding up his table. They start loading. The caravan's about 6 or 7. It's 7 wagons, and they are all loading. He's like, we load now. Everybody gets on the caravans. You guys all get on the 4th wagon. You travel for the day, right? It's getting on towards evening. Nasser, out of game, I'm going to ask you to tell me when the time is up. Give me about a 15-minute countdown and then a 10-minute countdown. So if we need to fast forward the story, we will. You ride the caravan for the day. It starts to get too dark where the horses and the caravan master and the drivers can't see the trail, so they call for camp. So they break camp. You guys have all done it before. You know what's involved. You chip in. You do where you do. Nobody has a tent. You guys are kind of exposed to the weather. It's not snowing yet, but there is, once the sun goes down, there's a heavy chill in the air. It's that, mountain airy, it smells good. There's the smell of pine, and you can smell snow is on the air. It may even snow tonight, which would suck because you guys don't have a tent. Luckily, Argasto has taken a liking to, is it Conag? Conard.
It's Conard.
Conard. He has taken a liking to Conard because he showed the initiative. And so, and of course the goblin. He has invited the goblin to feast with him, and he's tickled pink by the pig, because the pig's just tearing into the food. And it may be a battle pig, but it is still a pig. And so he's just tickled pink by the.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so the goblin is sitting there next to him. There's a lot of small talk for the sake of brevity, and I apologize if I'm talking very fast. I'm a very animated person, if you haven't noticed. And so we only have a short amount of time. So is there anything you guys wish to do while you're making camp and you're getting ready for dinner? The goblin is nowhere to be seen. Freya appears to be lounging on some cushions, and the Argasto is feeding the pig like grapes and apples, and he's just tickled pink that the pig is eating out of his hand.
Oh, I'm gonna suggest a game of where are we? I think a game of Wanna Smack Modak.
You're gonna play that with Modak?
Want to smack Modak? Who will be Modak?
Modak stands out. Modak will be Modak.
Want to smack Modak?
Modak no like this game.
Okay, we don't play Want to Smack Modak.
Modak smack you.
Okay, I play Fight the Boots.
All right. What are the rest of Bartolome? Now the rest of you are feeling the chill in the air, right? Because it is getting cold. The temperature is dropping. But you notice that Bartolome, he does have a cloak. He's wearing his Ordo Magical robes, but he's not wearing like a heavy cloak like the rest of you. And there's, when he moves a certain way, you see a slight glow. And what I would like is for all of you to give me a vigilant check and tell me what you rolled. Vigilant is like your perception.
13 for me.
Okay.
8.
8.
1.
A 1?
Yeah.
Nice. And Bartolome?
How did I roll as well?
Yes.
11.
11. Okay, so anybody who rolled under a 10 notices that there's one of the caravan men that's basically been tending the horses and circling the wagons. His name is Keller. Looks real shifty, and he keeps looking at Bartolome. And every time you guys notice him, he looks away, really nervous. But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. I don't know if there's anything you want to do. But you just notice there's a lot of hustle and bustle, and it's not necessarily that you feel he's eyeballing him, but it's just like every time you glance his way, you see him looking at Bartolome. It could be coincidence, could be, who knows. But dinner is prepared. It's there's a pot. There's like a big hearty stew, and everybody's kind of thrown a little bit in. And everybody breaks bread together, so to speak. And then people kind of after that peel off into their own little social groups. You four kind of go off your own way after you've eaten with Argasto. He's made a lot of boastful claims about how he's very rich and yada yada yada. But you guys kind of take it with a grain of salt, because if he was that rich, he'd have already been over the mountains, because all the rich people are gone. The only people left are the poor people. So he could be blowing smoke.
When we're setting up, I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm trying at the same time not to draw attention to myself, and at the same time be vigilant. So I'm not going to stand by all of my equipment, keeping an eye on it, but I will make sure that I can see as many people of the camp at one time as I can, and things like that.
Yeah.
Make sure that if I'm sitting at the fire, my back to the fire. That sort of thing, so I can just stay vigilant as much as possible without drawing attention.
And you are perfectly able. The sun orb is about a softball size stone that kind of glows, and so you keep it under. You've got a satchel, almost like a shoulder bag that you keep it in, and you all notice that he's always has at least one hand on that satchel. He tries not to let go. Now, of course, he's got to move things, of course. But the satchel is on him pretty much at all times. So if there's nothing else anybody wants to do, you're going to bed down for the night. The caravan has guards. Say again?
Yeah, I think I'll keep an eye on the guy that was eyeing Balthroom.
Keller?
And, yeah, Keller.
I think since I've not seen that guy, because I rolled a 13, which is above my vigilance, so I have no idea about this guy, so I think by now my character's had has eaten his fill, and he just looks around, sees that the camp is guarded. I think he will
sleep
go to sleep.
Sleep like a baby. All right, excellent.
I noticed that I'm far more discreet than I am cunning, so I will assume that Keller merely wants to play hide the thistle with Bartolin. I will bed down using my pick as a pillow and making sure my spear is close to hand.
Yes.
Obviously with the sharp bit pointed away from my pick, because accidents can happen so easily.
And everybody wants bacon. It is a cool, crisp night. The night goes on without incident. Everybody sleeps, pretty restful. You do have some disturbing dreams, and that's because you're so close to Dovahkiar. That's kind of the myth that is portrayed, is that Dovahkiar gets in your head and causes the weak to have. But the dreams aren't anything that make you have less sleep or wake up fatigue. So you wake up the next morning, everything is fine. There is a small stream that's running by this pass that goes through the mountains, and everybody kind of goes there to freshen up. And the water is very brisk, so you're able to freshen up, and those that want to dip their toes in the water and maybe clean behind their ears are able to do that. When Bartolome, you go to the water, and of course, you slept the night with everything on you. You woke up. You go to the water to splash, and all of a sudden, your satchel falls forward, as you lean over, and you see that the flap opens, and there's not that warm sensation of the sunstone there. You look down and you see just a rock about approximately the same size of the sunstones. And you scream out, "Thief! Thief!" And you're looking around and you don't see anything. You can all give me a vigilant test.
I rolled another 13, so I've seen nothing.
Cunard is like, "I've got my armor. I'm good."
17 over here. I'm just enjoying some warm tea.
There you go. What about Feya?
Same for me. Clearly, I noticed something as I'm playing fetch with Varula, my pig.
You made the roll?
I made the roll 10, yeah.
Okay, cool. And of course, Bartolome, you already know that something's not right. So you're in a tizzy. You're very upset. So you're looking around. Unfortunately, Varric and Conard, they're oblivious. They kind of look up when you start screaming. But Fenya looks and she points, and you see what appears to be Keller on one of the faster horses, and he's just riding through the pass the same way you guys are going, and you just hear it's like, basically it's like, so long, suckers, and he is hauling ass, and unfortunately with the caravan and everything, there's no way you guys are going to catch him. Does anybody have any kind of ranged or anything like that they can do real quick?
How fast does my pig move?
Not fast enough to cast a horse.
I have a throwing axe.
Come by.
Okay, the throwing axe, yeah, he's probably out of range. I mean, you can try.
I do have a bow.
You have a bow. All right, if you would like to take a shot, you are more than welcome. So your bow is going to use accuracy.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pretty hard. You're going to want to roll really low.
Yeah, so that's an 8.
Ooh.
And my accuracy is a 15.
Oh, okay. So your number necessarily doesn't matter. Don't get hung up on your number. Your number adds a bonus or a negative. Yeah, whatever the die total. Obviously, if you roll under, that's important. So rolling an 8 out of a 15, that really doesn't matter. The fact that you rolled under is all that matters. Varric, grabs his bow, has one arrow, pulls it out, stretches it back, angles it, holds his breath for a second, and lets go. And you see the arrow arc, and you can see Keller. He's riding really hard. The horse is frothing already. And all of a sudden, the arrow just skunk hits the horse right in the back flank. And the horse whinnies, and he almost falls off, but he stays on. The horse is limping because the arrow, horses don't take good to arrows. And so it's obviously going a lot slower, and there's obviously going to be a blood trail for those of you that are the hunter types. But he keeps going, and then he fades off over the pass. He goes up over the horizon of the trail, and he's gone. Bartolome, the sacred sunstone that you were entrusted to, is gone. What do you do? You guys your options are suck it up and let it go. Probably not an option.
No.
You could beseech Argasto to see if he will lend you some horses, and you'll catch up with the caravan.
Immediately run to Augusto.
All right, what do you say? They're breaking camp. They're getting ready to go.
I have been robbed under your watch.
What? No one robs under Argasto's watch. What are you? You're talking crazy.
I don't have time to speak for this. I've been robbed of an important artifact by someone in our caravan. I need horses to go after him.
What is in it for Argasto?
I will give you all that I have in my money.
This is acceptable.
What about my pay?
You will get paid. You come back and meet the caravan before we get across the mountains, you will be paid. He says, he snaps his fingers, and 4 able-looking horses are brought to you.
I will take one. I will ask my newfound friends if they will come and aid me.
Conrad will turn to Augusto and he says, I go with him, but you increased my pay. Because this happened on your watch.
Oh, and Argasto says, you are beseeching my good name, my friend. I cannot have that. Please, I will double your pay. He looks over at Modek and he goes, nothing from nothing is nothing. and you guys, I assume you get on the horses and you start rolling.
Yeah, we get on the horse and ride.
Yeah, all right. So, long story short, yeah, you ride your pig. It's not very attractive, let me tell you. You're able to whoever has the best vigilance probably should take the lead.
I've got a 10.
Mine is a 10.
7. This is how I got robbed.
Well, 10 is average. 10 is not bad, so 10 is good.
Okay.
Nobody above a 10?
7 average and 1 is really your side.
Yeah. All right, so Karnard, you take the lead, and you're able to follow the blood trail, right, from the horse, because the arrow, as it's moving, the arrow's just digging in, and it's not good. You ride about 20, 30 minutes ahead, and you come to a small clearing where you can see there's an old mill, an old tower, with it's an old wheat mill that has the big fan, and as the wind makes the fan turn, it grinds it's a mill. It's very dilapidated, and you can see the horse is limping off to the side, and as you look up, you can see Keller running up this rickety ladder and he's got something on his back, and you can see he's got a pouch on his hip, and he's like, now Rogan will protect me. You will all suffer his wrath. And he gets up to the top, and you can see he's pulling something out. You can give me a vigilant roll to see if you can kind of see what he's doing, as the rest of your party is now pulling up next to you on their horses.
I equaled my number, which is a 10.
Okay, so you succeed. You succeed. It's equal to or less than. You see he's got a heavy crossbow, and he is cranking it, and he's put a bolt in it, and he's now lifting it up, and he's actually going to take a shot at you.
I see. Take cover, everybody. He's going to shoot.
Yeah, and as you guys try to dive for cover, he shoots. So his... Yeah, shoot him in the face! So...
Me and Verula will hide behind the guy with the shield.
Well, he's actually shooting at Conard. So, Conard, what is your defense?
It's a 10.
It's a 10. So his is a 10, so it's straight up. His accuracy is a 10. So roll a d20. You want to get an 11 or higher, or else you're going to get hit.
I got an 11, an exact 11.
Nice. So the bolt shoots through. I mean, it literally goes. You feel the fletching on the bolt just barely touch your ear, and you hear it bounce off the rocks behind you. And you hear Keller curse. He's only about 40 feet up and maybe 50 feet away. So he's well within the range of the crossbow. What do you guys do? It's going to take him 2 rounds to reload that crossbow. And the only other weapon that you were able to see in the camp is he had a dagger. So, are you guys going to storm the tower?
Charging in with the horse.
All right.
Somebody to play a game of get to pick up the ladder.
So Conad, you were, I assume, off your horse at this point because you kind of dodged out of the way. So the rest of the guys are riding up to the ladder of the mill. Are you going to just run?
I think I will try to make my way up to him. What's the easiest way?
Straight shot, just run. Just run. So for brevity's sake, and we only got a couple minutes left, and I hate to rush you guys so fast, but you're able to run. I'm going to say the goblin's probably the fastest of you all. So the goblin gets there first. The goblin is able to get up. So that was one turn. Second turn, Keller is loading the crossbow and pulling it up as you guys get to the top of the mill, and he's going to take another pot shot at the goblin since the goblin is first. So again, he has an accuracy of 10. What is your defense?
My defense is 13.
All right. So what that means is because your defense is 13, that is a -3 to his shot. So his 10 now becomes a 7. So you need to roll a d20 and get below a 7. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So Fenya, you're going to roll a d20.
I rolled a 15.
Oh! So I tell you what, because I am a kind and benevolent GM, I will allow you a quickness roll, because I assume you're good at quickness, to see if you can dodge out of the way.
Okay. I roll a 1 against a 15. That's a success.
So who was second up the ladder?
Probably me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably you. And of course, running up a ladder, it's kind of hard to keep that shield in front of you. So what's your defense minus the shield?
How do I know what that is minus the shield?
The shield should have a number next to it, or does it just say 11?
It just says defense 11 and then shield in brackets.
Okay. We won't bother. We'll just go with the 11. What did you roll to hit again, Fenya?
7.
A 7. So the 7 is, unfortunately, even with the -3. Well, what's your defense is what? 11? Yeah, that's a -1. So he's still hit. So unfortunately, the damage on a crossbow bolt will just, it's a heavy crossbow, so it's probably a 1d8. So roll a 1d8, Muhammad.
That's a 3.
Oh, that's good. Now roll whatever your armor is.
Okay, the armor is a d6. That's a 4.
All right, so literally it just chinks right off your armor. It probably hits a chainmail link or something, and just, so Keller pulls up the crossbow, bam, he fires. The goblin's like, eep, and dives. Maybe does a little barrel roll forward. I should have made it hit the pig. That's what I should have done. And, and then it literally ricochets off your thigh. So so Keller throws the crossbow down right, and I'm assuming Faya, you do a barrel roll, you get right in front of him. You can attack him or whatever you want to do. You have your little short spear. So
I have a spear, yeah. So apparently not so short. I get a free attack if they approach me, but I'm approaching him.
Right, but again, he doesn't have, all he has is a dagger. He has dropped the crossbow and he's reaching for the dagger. So you have the higher quick, so you get to go first. And then the way combat and initiative works is if you have a ranged weapon, you go first. And then your melee weapons get to go after that. So with your spear, you can actually, you do the little barrel roll and you come up with the spear. So you're going to try to hit him. So your spear, I believe, uses accurate.
Okay.
So, and then his defense is +2. So, which that means you subtract 2 off of whatever your accurate is. What's your accurate?
My accurate is 10 and I rolled a 16.
Yeah, so you miss. So you lunge out with the spear. He screams. Keller is obviously some sort of coward or just a weasel. He screams and backs up. So now behind Fenya is Varric, and then Bartolome, and then Conrad. So we'll just go in that order. So Varric, the goblin has rolled forward, missed him with the spear. You can get to him. In combat, you have a movement and an action. So your movement, you can.
I have 2 movements because of survival instincts. Can I get behind it?
Yes, sir. I will definitely give that to you. Yes. All right. So he's behind him. He's flanked, which I don't remember the exact rules, so we'll just roll with it. You run in and you can attack. So
Okay.
What do you have for a weapon?
Attack with the long sword.
Oh, excellent. All right. So that's going to be your accurate.
Yep.
Versus his defense.
And that succeeds.
By how much? What's your total?
Well, my accurate is a 15 and I got an 11.
All right, and his defense is a +2. So your 15 gets subtracted down to 13 because you always have to take their defense into account. So you have to roll 13 or less, which you did.
11 still makes it.
Yes, sir. So now what is the damage of your sword?
It's a D8.
Okay.
And it does 7 points.
Ooh! All right, and his armor is, where's his tough armor? Defense is +2. Oh, it's +2. So he subtracts 2 from how much did you do?
7.
7. All right, so he takes 5 points of damage, which is his pain threshold. So he literally, Nasser, you're on the job, dude. You're hired. 10 minutes left. He drops the dagger and drops to his knees. Please don't kill me. I'll never steal again. Please, please. Do you hold or do you strike him again?
Oh no, I hold.
Okay. As you do that, he takes that and he pulls the satchel off his hip and he throws it over the rail. And as you all turn to look to see where he throws it, it lands at the feet of this 7-foot tall. The best way to describe it is Jack Sparrow buffed out as a zombie. And he stands there and he reaches down and he grabs the sack in this kind of decaying. You notice he only has one hand, but he does have a necklace with what looks to be his hand that's mummified around his necklace. And he says in this deep, croaky voice, "This is mine and you will die." And what do you do?
Brimstone Cascade?
Is there a range?
I don't know, but I'm willing to get quite close.
Do you have a? I'm willing. Oh, I like it. I'm willing to get quite close. Page 132. Nasser, we've got a couple minutes left, I take it?
5 minutes left.
All righty. 132. I'm going as quick as I can. I'm old. All right.
The one thing I don't have in this description is its range. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, and you're a novice in it, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So basically, you need a fistful of pure brimstone. So you reach in a pouch, right? Because you're a mage, basically, and you pull out a pure brimstone, and you unleash a rampaging spirit of fire and burns its enemy to cinders, or at least scorches them severely. So, as a novice, the mystic lashes out with fire and brimstone against a target. The mystic succeeds with a resolute versus quick. So, you're going to roll your resolute, and it's minus the bad guy's quick. And I will give you that in un momento.
Okay.
His quick is. It's probably not going to be that good. His quick is 11, so it's a -1 to whatever your resolute. What's your resolute?
Yeah. My resolute is 15, and I rolled a 9.
All right.
So I'm more good.
Yeah, you made it. So, with that being said, 1d12 points of damage if the mystic fails the test. The cascade only. So you made it. So you may roll a d12.
That's a 12.
That ooh, wow. And all right. So even with his armor, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah. So for the sake of brevity and that we have to wrap it up, describe what your spell looks like.
So I take a handful of flaming brimstone, or not no longer, which is now beginning to flame, and I arc it into the air. At first, it looks like it's going to miss, but given my mystic proclivities, I curve it around just so that he turns to look at it as it swings towards him, alighting as much of his Jack Sparrow attire as I can muster.
Yeah. So this pillar of fire basically comes down. You all smell a strong sense of brimstone and ash in the air, and it literally just engulfs him. The only thing sticking out of the pillar of fire is his arm holding that bag, and you see his hand and that bag fall to the ground, and the rest of him just literally just like putting a match to gasoline just goes up because he is undead and he's susceptible to fire damage. And so he literally so he literally falls to the ground in ash. When you guys get there, of course, the sunstone is safe, so you're able to take it and put it back in your pack. Keller is still. That'll do, Piggy. That'll do.
As I pick it up, I say to the ash, ownership is often a matter of debate.
Yeah, excellent. You see, the only thing left is the feather from his cap, and it's kind of nasty and obviously very old. And then a steel rusted chain with his mummified hand still on it. Does anybody take that?
Yes.
All right. So you may mark on your character sheet that you have the mummified hand of Mal Rogan. And if we ever get to play this again, there are things that go along with that.
I would love to continue this.
So that is very, very much an abridged adventure. It's out of the core book, so you can kind of read up on it a little bit, but I did take some liberties. And that is basically Symbaroum in a nutshell. We didn't get too much into the flavor because we didn't have a whole lot of time, but I hope you gentlemen enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun.
And hopefully you all got to do a little something.
System, I like it.
Yeah, it's what I really like about it is I don't have to roll dice. So I can focus on telling the story. I can inflict, accents and characters and be silly or be serious if the case need be. But in this case, it was a little, Keller was obviously a spineless weasel and he was working on the behest of Mal Rogan. So, yeah, that's Free Liga. There's a number of source books out for it. I think they are all reasonably priced. I know you guys are overseas, but I'm assuming there's got to be a game store somewhere or Amazon. I don't know.
We can get it.
Yeah, so definitely Nasser. Is it Nasser? Yeah, it's Nasser. Nasser. Yeah. So if we want to continue this and maybe do it like once a month or something and maybe have a little more time. I know you guys have some constraints with like Discord and so you're not allowed to use certain stuff and all that fun stuff. But we'll find a way and see what we can do. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me. I did record it. As long as everybody's okay, I will put it up on my YouTube channel, and Nasser can send you guys the link. Say again?
Absolutely fine.
All right, excellent. great job on playing the Goblin. Mohammed, great job with the bow shot, man. That was solid. Balthazak, Bartolome, awesome. I know you didn't know you were going to be thrust into it. So that worked out really well. Nasser, I hope you had a good time, sir.
I enjoyed playing the muscle.
And you did it quite well. So you guys did really good. You got to experience the magic. The mechanics can get a little bit more in depth. Obviously, we went very fast, but I hope it gave you a sense of it, and it's a system you might enjoy playing amongst yourselves, or maybe over there in no, you're in Bahrain, and you guys are in Saudi or
No.
Dubai. Dubai. Okay. Okay. So, well, I assume this is how you guys play, is over camera.
Right now, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm in the same boat. So thank you guys very much. If we can work out some sort of form of communication, I would love to GM for you again. You were all amazing. I had very much fun. I know it. I feel bad for rushing you guys through it, but I know we had a limited amount of time. So, and I don't want Nasser to have to pay out of his own pocket. Well, I guess if you use it too long, you have to pay.
That's okay. It's not a problem.
All right. Well, either way, I had a blast. So thank you so much. It was a privilege to run for you guys. Nasser can send you guys the link to my YouTube channel and to the. I don't know if you guys can do Discord on your phones or not. I think Nasser, you do it on your phone, right?
I do it on my phone and my PC, so it's good.
But you're okay. You don't have the.
He doesn't. He's in a different country. He
Right.
doesn't have the restriction.
Yeah, and you three are in Saudi, right? Or no, Dubai. I keep wanting to say Saudi. I'm sorry, Dubai, and where they don't allow you, I guess, to do Discord or whatever. So.
I think Saudi might actually. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, I'm in IT as a profession, and Zoom is just verboten in my book. But if that's the only way we can get everybody on, because I would love to play with you guys again. It was a hoot.
Yeah, we do have
a Discord chat, but it's not great for actually running a session.
Right.
The text chat, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
We do have, as a GRC, we do have our own Zoom account, so we can run panels and stuff off of that.
Okay. Is that something that me from the US could connect to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to do it again, Nasser, I'll let you be the organizer if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm a member of the GRC.
All right, awesome. And then if we can coordinate something, maybe play a little bit longer, get a little more in depth. Nasser made his own character, so he can probably help you guys out. And I'm always available. I don't know what method we can do. Email, I guess, if you guys can't get on the Discord, or we can relay through Nasser.
Yeah, add it in their chat here. You can do the chat. Add it. Throw in your email, John, on the chat.
Yeah. Let me see.
I've got. If my goblin ever dies, I want to play the pig. It's more cunning.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think Varric would try to eat you. I'm not saying anything negative about Varric.
I would say I have tried and failed up until now.
Yeah, the pig was great, Andrew. You did a great job, sir, and I'm glad that you guys have such a great sense of humor, and it's super cool. So I don't want to delay anybody's time or anything, and I'm dealing with my parents and the hurricane that devastated Louisiana. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. It means a lot, and I'm gonna post this up on YouTube later today, and Nasser will send you guys the link. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
And I can't say it enough, guys. It was a blast. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. I'm a goof.
Thank you.
All right, we'll do it again, guys. All right.
All right.
All right. Have a great day.
John, stay safe.
All right, you too, guys.